Hi, good morning. Welcome to Tottenham Gold. Today we play Southampton away at St Mary's. Can Spurs continue this unbeaten run under Conte? And today we look back at a classic match between Tottenham Hotspur and Southampton Football Club. Hi and good morning and welcome to Tottenham Gold, your home of your classic games, classic content and classic everything else. This morning we're going back to the 80s watching Tottenham Hotspur against Southampton at White Hart Lane, the game where when our new West Stand was open. It was the first game under that. So good morning to, sorry, sorry, I've just totally thrown. Right, yeah. So, with me this morning is my usual co-host Kuva, and down below is the man who's like James Bond, who goes to cocktail parties dressed in his tuxedo and says, "My name's Phil." Phil, that is. Morning, Kuva. How are you, sir? Phil, you're on mute.
I am on mute. I'm shaken but not stirred this morning. So
that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, there we go. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah. And you, Phil, how are you this morning, sir?
Yeah, all good this morning. Yeah, just raring to go to see who's in joining us on our mission to make it to 200 before the new year.
Yeah, well, we're getting there. Anyway, Celery Agent in this morning, so good morning, Celery Agent. Thank you for coming. Hang on, just let's see who that is. Go on, preview, read them out, mate.
That's Ian, his Shaggy 1712.
Yeah.
Morning, Ian. Good to see you again, mate.
Go on, you continue reading them out. Yeah.
Mark Cousins from my neck of the woods. Morning, Mark.
Yeah.
And Chris Agomba. Hi all, is Dermot lost again?
Yeah, I'm lost again. Yeah. But I found myself, then I lost myself, then I found myself and lost myself. So I'm always losing myself.
I think Dermot's had a bit of a rough night, to be fair, but he's such a pro that he had to come on anyway.
He's here and cooking gas.
He crawled out of the police cell half 8 this morning. Waving his bottle of Evian.
Yeah. me and Cooper called out there about 8:30 this morning. Like, both go, yeah, we're going to do a show.
Truth Sets Free. Hi, my name is Truth Sets Free, and I'm a TTG addict.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's star comment so far this morning. I've got to give that star comment this morning.
Celery Agent saying you're not alone. Truth Sets Free. 6:30 a.m. here in the US. Officially a Spurs nut.
I tell you one thing though, before we carry on and before we read out Truth Sets Free, we're not complete on TTG without our fourth member. We're like the Beatles. I'm John Lennon. That's Paul McCartney. Down below is George Harrison. And joining us is the man who makes any band, the drummer, Ringo Starr.
Morning, gentlemen.
How are you, Ben?
We're alive this morning. We're surviving. How are we boys doing?
I'm rough. He's tough. And down below suffering. So we're all doing grand.
That's the way I like to see it.
That works. Still not the same without you with the coffee shop background, though. Ben.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we're on
I'm quite enjoying his bedroom background, actually.
Are you?
It's a total mess. You got aero stuff. You got Coca-Cola. You got a Les Paul over there.
It looks like a penthouse. That's what it reminds me of. You're living in a penthouse.
You've got some very low standards there, then, Dermot. That's all I'll say.
It's more like a madhouse. Really, it should have pillows on the walls.
Not on offence to Ben, I mean, but that's not how I picture a penthouse. Is it? Anybody else?
No. Penthouses are like triple the size and have no walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing against you, Ben, but yeah, never mind.
I couldn't live in a penthouse. I'd probably jump off a cliff. Wouldn't like it.
No, that's derailed the show already.
Yeah.
Go on, keep reading them out there, Keith.
Truth sets free. Sorry, 24-0. My bad. Well, for the scoreline today.
Yeah, I think Truth sets you free's number is 24, isn't he? So he's strong on that one.
I think Truth has been on Dermot's vodka.
Line. Oh yeah. Ian saying, "Are we seeing the Ronnie Rosenthal game today?" No, couldn't get hold of it, unfortunately. Have issues with copyright on a few things, and I can't seem to get hold of a few people when asking to use their material. They just don't seem to reply yet. Perhaps it's just because it's Christmas and it's all they can't be bothered. We'll try and get it in the future though. Truth sets free. So Spursy was calling us delusional fans last night on Irish Hotspur just because we think we're winning the quadruple next year. Well, no, that's not ambitious enough. We want to be winning the quintuple because we've got the Charity Shield on top
as well, having won the FA Cup and having done the double this year.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's what's wrong with him?
And the season after that is the sextuple because we'll be playing in the Super Cup.
And the World Club Cup as well.
That's the season after that, isn't it? Isn't it the winners of the Super Cup goes to the World Club Cup?
No, winners of the Champions League go to the World Club Cup.
Oh, well, there you are then. We're so into the septuple the season after next.
And after that, we'll just win 8.
just keep going. 7 a season. Let's not be greedy.
Yeah.
Truth Sets Free. This is my favourite show on TV. Is it a show? More like a party. Yes. It's got the pub theme to it. People don't need to drink, but they're still off their tits.
Gaguma's joined us.
Gaguma, good to see you again, Gaguma. Hello, Dermot, Kuva, Phil. It's TTG time. Oh, and Ben as well. I know you would have included Ben if you'd known he was there. And yes, my president.
It's 2024. We're
trying to work out the little picture there.
I want to say that looks like a penguin, but I'm not sure. I'm just trying to keep up now with which order all the comments go in. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to quickly do them all so that we can see them.
Gaguma, Queen do Spurs.
Yeah.
Right, yep.
Queen of the supporters club.
Queen of, right, okay.
Yeah, Gaguma should be the moderator.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be what's it called? The person that ruins Gaguma's mental health just because of our absolute trash we talk half the time.
Celery Agent, good evening. Great to see you too. From Gaguma.
Then I'm just going to... just a Gaguma with welcome, Ben. Just don't want to leave you out there, Ben. Yeah. And then the quadruple. Isn't it good to dream? Or is it just that we have a feeling we're really going somewhere? Do you know what?
Well, I'm going down to put a bet. I'm going down to put a bet at the bookies that we're going to do the double, but then we're going to equal the 60-61 team within the next 3 seasons today.
I'll put a bet on the quadruple every season. Law of averages. I will get that one day.
I want to ask you 3 quick question. Do you think Conte is like having another Bill Nick? I'll start with you, Kuva, and then I'll go from Kuva, then to Phil, then to you, Ben.
You know what? Why not? He's elite level.
That's what I said. That's what I said last night on the Irish Hotspur. He's like having another Bill Nick, and that's what I would make him to be.
Yeah. One of the very best in the world, right at the moment in his prime. So yes, definitely.
Phil?
Oh, without a doubt, and it's he's got everything. He's got everything at his disposal to be able to do. The risk would come from if he doesn't quite get what he wants. But if you look at what difference he's made, who sat here today thinking, "Oh my God, I'm nervous. It's Southampton away." We're not, are we? We're sat there thinking 2, maybe 3. Ooh. But that confidence is in there.
I am, but that's only because I'm not feeling well this morning. Probably that has something to do with it. But I know where it is. And for anyone that wants to watch it, it's on Premier Sports 1 at 2:30. And I think it's on. Yeah, I think it's on Peacock on America. I don't know if I'm started, but that has two channels to note: Spurs Southampton games on today, Premier One on Sky, and Peacock on American television. Go on then, Ben. Do you think Conte's like Bill Nick?
He's not like Bill Nick, but he's in that reign. I mean, I'm not going to compare him to Bill Nick because Bill Nick is on another level for me in terms of what he did for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, in terms of coming through the youth setup, and being an absolute pillar that held up a generation of fans' football. But in terms of Conte, he is someone you fear and respect at the same time, and that is terrifying. Because not only will you fear him, you will respect him, and he will get the best out of you. If you follow him, he will part the Red Sea for you. He's just that good. All that matters now is if the powers that be give him what he needs, as what Phil was said. But I don't think, well, not since Bill Nick, this is the first time Tottenham Hotspur since 1961 has had an elite football manager.
You can't really discount. You can't really discount Keith Birkinshaw, who's our second most successful manager.
I don't think Birkinshaw was ever this. He never won as much as Conte had in as many different leagues as Conte. That's what Conte brings. He is not only a born winner, he is just a winner.
Do you think the fact you said he'll part the Red Sea for you is why he did so well with Victor Moses?
Yes.
Never mind. Had to just pick up on that
one. I was thinking the same thing, Cooper. I was thinking along the same lines.
Sorry, 2 secs, guys, and I'll be back. All right.
I'll just wreck Phil with a comment. Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Should we get the game on in the background? Do you think?
Yeah. I'll just take Phil out there for a minute.
Okay.
Phil will be back in a minute. It just has to do something. And we hear Barry Davis in the background.
Oops, we do. Let's turn that off. Barry Davis, get off.
Bad. Right, we've got Kim.
There we go.
Yeah, we've got Kim saying, "What a panel!" Celery agent, hello, Kim. Go on, Coof. Read some of these out for us, sir.
Ben here. No, I love this show. TTG is one of my faves. Hosts and chat friends are brilliant. Yeah, we're really enjoying ourselves now, aren't we?
We are. And look, there's Graham Roberts chasing the cockerel, looking for dinner. There's my dinner. I'm telling you, right, if you don't stand
Graham Roberts would never eat a cockerel. That's how Tottenham he was.
That's true.
That's true. But that was somebody's dinner. And Kim saying hello to Celery agent.
Hello, Celery, my man, and all these super folks in chat.
Yeah,
that's it. It's the people in chat that are helping to drive this channel along now.
Yeah. Right, I didn't realise it was on Amazon Prime today. Hey, they got the chicken. They got the cockerel. Well, hey, safety the cockerels. The game was also...
It's on Amazon Prime today. Yeah, it makes it easier for a lot of people. I know I don't use Amazon Prime. It's just convenience, isn't it? As soon as the football's on as well, it's brilliant.
True Stats 3 calling Kim B royalty, which she is. She's saying good morning to Guguma. Did I say that right?
Guguma, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You must be a bit ill this morning, Dermot.
I must be.
It's either you're ill or it's the vodka.
And people just acknowledging each other in chat generally now.
Yeah. Go and read that one out, Ben. Go on. For us.
Lovely people. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all those things. And, well, most of the people already have done that in here because we're a little community here. But thanks to Kim for giving us the lovely comment.
Yeah.
And if she wants to join with us and Phil Lattis, she's more than welcome to. If we
don't forget Coover and Dermot, the other two at the other end.
That's why I said us.
Oh, us. All right, I didn't hear that bit,
us
Ben.
And Phil Lattis.
Sorry, Ben. I didn't hear you there, bud.
We're not having a sort of breakaway. Is there some sort of coup d'etat going on here?
I don't know. I think there might be. I think we might be having our own version of the Premier League, European Super League here.
Just with Kaufman, that's not a very Super League.
Ben Ultra Kaufman breakaway league.
And then Celery Agent is just saying hello to everyone.
Better do a quick thank you to Simon at Duck Jive 1 again for use of his footage. It's the Spurs Southampton match back in 1983. 3. Okay, is it right?
It was when the West Ham was officially opened, the first game.
Of course.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It's close to that time, that's for sure.
It was officially open for the Wolves game when we beat them 6-1. When Ricky scored the hat trick.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have watched this one fairly recently, but it seems very appropriate since
I can't remember it, so this is all new to me.
Right, fair enough. Can't remember this morning.
I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Must be the book.
Who am I? I don't know here.
I don't know. Who are you? I haven't seen you before. Who's the fella down below? Is he part of Pinky Blinders?
Oh, just finish off the shout out for Duck Drive as well. If you want to see this game and many other Spurs games and England matches with the original commentary, please head over to his channel. He's got a fantastic selection there. Some interesting documentaries as well. So, well worth checking out.
Yeah, I was watching one the other day about the house that Bill Nick, right? Or it was the 100 years of Tottenham. They did it in 82, 83, and who was doing? What's his name? The boxing commentator you used to always do with Frank Bruno. What's his name?
Oh, Harry.
Yeah, you know who I mean anyway.
Yeah,
and
You know what I mean, Harry.
You know what I mean, Harry. Yeah,
Harry
and John Motz. Yeah, Harry Compton and John Motson did a bit documentary about the first 100 years of Tottenham. And they were talking to, at the end, they were saying to people, they had Bill Nick on there, they had Keith Birkinshaw, Stevie P and all that. And they went to the end to Arthur Rowe. And they said to him, what does Tottenham mean to you? Literally, he couldn't speak. He was that emotional about Tottenham. He literally nearly burst into tears. That's how much Tottenham meant to Arthur Rowe. And he was explaining his push and run, how he came up with it. The base couldn't get the heads around the push and run side. So he said they used to train in the car park if they couldn't use White Hart Lane. Imagine players now training in the car park now. I mean, it'd be unheard of. And he said, hit the ball against the wall and then run up to where it goes. And that was basically push and run. That's how we got them to.
It wasn't a brand. He didn't invent push and run, but he certainly brought it to this our league anyway.
Yeah, it was a Brazilian type football.
Yeah,
the push and run actually started in Brazil, and it was the Brazilians that used it. They used it to great effect for the 58 and 62 World Cups.
Kind of fits in with the theme of playing in the car park because
and there's Graham Roberts with his first goal. Pardon me, and there's Huddle celebrating with him. There's Archibald and Mickey Hazard.
Huddle's cross, wasn't it?
Yeah. What would you say to that now? Have you seen that documentary, Ben?
Not for a while. I can't. In fact, I'm trying to put things together again, but I definitely have seen it at some point in my life. My dad's probably shoved it down my face. They probably have the cassette of it somewhere in this house.
Well, it's on the channel. It's on the playlist.
So I'll definitely give it a watch when we get a chance. My uncle would love it. My uncle's probably already seen it like 70 times. So,
but it was just watching Arthur Rowe just well up. Yeah. Oh, Phil's back. Have you bought yourself in, Philly?
Sorry?
Have you bought yourself in, Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling you Philly. That's your nickname.
What do you boys think about Oliver Skipp being this generation's Graham Roberts? Because he seems to have absolutely every single likeness to Graham Roberts. The only thing he won't be able to do is put Charlie Nicholas in the stand.
Yeah,
that's how highly I think of him.
Yeah, I said that last night on the Old Transfer. He was our Graham Roberts, and I won't back down from saying that. I actually did say that.
Player though, short in need to Graham Roberts. He's not. He's a little bit more finesse than whereas Graham Roberts was a little tough guy.
Well, it's more that Oli Skipp is tough. You know, he's a person that you would get it. You want in the trenches with you, if you know what I mean. He's a sort of like
Graham Roberts. I'll take Graham Roberts, to be honest.
Yeah. Good morning, Sean Butler. He's in this morning. Good
Yeah,
morning
right,
there,
well,
Sean.
Morning, Sean.
Just do some of these comments then.
Yeah, apparently, she's not going on the show because some fella called Coover. I don't know who he is. Has anyone heard who Coover is? That's the second goal for Graham Roberts. He's doing melee today.
Must have been a little. Oh,
Kim's getting a bit cheeky. I think we might have to ban her. So
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on Ollie Skip being what I said last night? Basically, linking him to Graham Roberts, Phil and Coover.
I
I'd
think
love
you
you.
might have gone a bit over the top there, mate. I mean, he's a different sort of player. I think Phil was getting at it. He's more finesse to him than Graham Roberts.
Yeah.
Graham Roberts was the inspirational, fearless leader who would run through a brick wall for you. Skippy's a little bit more of Skippy's got a little bit more of an all-round game than that. Because you can't compare many people to Graham Roberts when it's in terms of being a tough man. There we go.
Yeah, Phil, you sort of on the same length of Coover.
But you know, yeah, I think that the similarities are, you know, I think Skippy would give it all for Tottenham, but he is a very different player to you know the quality and.
I think that's more what I was trying to get.
Toughness.
Yeah, I think that was trying to get at his heart. He's like Graham Roberts. He give his all for Tottenham, like Graham Roberts did, like Steve Perryman did. The badge on the badge was their heart, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and this morning, but also for the second day running, she was streaming on Twitter as well this morning. So good morning to all our Twitter fans. We had 18 views on Twitter from our last night's show, which we were over the moon with, plus over here. So yesterday was our highest ever viewers on both platforms. So we're absolutely over the moon with that. So thank you all so much. I want to read this one out. Read that one out there, would you? There, lads,
Okay.
if you want to read it out.
Yeah, I'll do that one. So the push and run was the original tiki-taka. It originated in Scotland. They beat England playing it, and one of our Scottish managers brought it to Spurs between the wars. I think that's a good bit of history there, Craig.
It is. I think the Brazilians did play that way in the '58 World Cup as well. I think the Brazilians brought it to another level.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have got it from there because it was 51 we introduced it into the league. So yeah, I've heard 3 different theories on its origin now. So I wonder which is true. Perhaps,
which is the other 2?
Well, I've heard it's originated in South America. I've also heard it originated on the continent, and I've heard now it originated in Scotland. So
I wonder did the great hungry side of the early '50s play it as well?
Well,
you know,
yeah, the Pushkas era,
yeah,
when they ripped England apart. That's from the '60s, wasn't it?
So yeah, it did help. It did help, Sean. So thank you for that little bit of a tip. So thank you very much indeed. We didn't realize we could do it. So thank you for that. And then we've got Shaggy here. Yeah,
that's a Shaggy. Yeah, I think Skippy can be another Paul Scholes if he can add the goals to his game.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
I don't see that at all. Actually,
Skippy can tackle. It's the difference. Scholes couldn't tackle. He just took people out.
Scholes is, I think, the better sort of comparison for Scholes would be Glenn Hoddle. Amazing passer of a football with goals in him. The rest of the game, nah. Scholes was not a rounded footballer. He was just incredible at what he did well. Whereas Skippy, I think, has got a rounded game.
I mean, you look at that class of '92, and you have to say Fergie was lucky to have them bunch of kids come through, wasn't he?
Oh, mind you, but Ian, maybe he's talking about the sort of influence on the team. That could be so, but different sort of player, I'd argue.
It's just that naughty smile that Skippy gets when as soon as he sees someone he can just fucking take out when they're on the break. He just takes them out and he turns to the camera, he's got the biggest smile on his face. It's absolutely brilliant.
And Kim saying to you, Cooper, no, I didn't mean it.
No, we'd never ban you, Kim. We would. You watch her. No,
we'll have Hotspur after us if we did.
Chris Agomba saying the Guguma. Oh,
wow, it's 11 p.m. here in Sudley. Good morning, John Fitzpatrick, sir, or good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Half time in the game as well.
Yeah, 2-0. I know I've said it before, but I still can't believe they cocked up putting the tunnel in the centre of the pitch. I mean, it's like somebody must have been pissed when they've done that. Honest to God.
190 subscribers, guys, says Sean Butler. Did this Twitter stream help last night?
I think it
did, but I also think just a barefaced begging on David and Jack's channel does it as well.
I mean, the three of us were on there last night. I mean, it was just total just begging, wasn't it, really?
It was absolutely no shame. Anything for likes and subscribes on there.
All we were missing was Phil, and Jack wanted Phil on last night to do his own quadruple. Yeah, but Phil was being James Bond in his tuxedo at a cocktail party. He was definitely being shaken.
He was it. Oh, great goal there, Mr.
Graham Roberts.
No, Mr. Bond. We expect you to be a Spurs fan.
Yes.
I must be dreaming.
Yes, and we've got a very own Sean Connery look-alike down below with Phil. He definitely like to get to a bit of Miss Money Penny, but there you go.
I could quite happily be James Bond, more than happy.
Yeah, I think Ben could be the first Jewish James Bond, couldn't you, Ben?
As long as it's chicken soup and not martinis.
I'd watch it.
And then Coover could be the first James Bond, couldn't you, Coover? You could do it.
Interesting comment there from, sorry, is it Ian, Shaggy?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But Ian there just, is that Wiki? So Wikipedia credited it with being devised by Arthur Rowe himself. I mean, either way, you'll take that, but interesting comment there.
Perhaps Arthur Rowe turns out to be a Brazilian Scotsman from Eastern Europe.
And we started it last night, me and Coover, before Coover nearly tried to kill me live on air, or make me pass out live on air. I mean, if you haven't heard Phil, we were doing the show last night, and Coover made me laugh that hard. I nearly passed out. The whole room went black.
Sorry, I'm glad you said that. I just presumed there that you just overdone the alcohol, but
no. And literally, I couldn't speak. I was laughing that much. I couldn't get out the words to actually speak right. So his words were last night, my mission is to make them pass out.
Yeah, so
on street. But anyway, we come up with this thing last night. Which Marvel characters would us two be? Now I want to do it this morning with four of us on. Which Marvel characters would us four be? So that's myself, Coover, Phil, and Ben. We'd love to get them in the comments. Which Marvel characters do you think us four would be?
I'm gonna pick myself for Iron Man.
No, that's my job. Sorry. Okay, then.
I don't think you're Iron Man, damn it.
No, I'm a few things, but yeah.
Who did you go with last night? Then let's set the.
Well, I was told. Cody Mack said I was Doctor Strange, and Coover was Thor.
Yeah, it's only because the one I really wanted to go for is in a different universe, is the DC universe. I always saw myself as Wonder Woman, you know.
Yeah. Right, that's totally just derailed the channel completely.
Speaking of which, I did actually see Spider-Man yesterday. It was very, very good.
Any good?
What did you think?
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was
I'm not spoiling anything.
No. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there will be no sequel because Spider-Man is dead. Oh, sorry.
He got caught in a giant bath.
Yeah, there was no way out.
No, it's just a big tennis racket came out of nowhere. Just 5 minutes in the film. No, that's it.
Shaggy says, Kim says, don't we all, Graham? That must be talking to Graham about her 9 Spurs 11. Chris says, with all that Guinness done, it should be Iron Man.
I've just seen that one.
And then Sean Butler's put, I think it'd be a tougher game today than versus Crystal Meth.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then Sean said, Guguma, yes, I am, about an hour from Tottenham. Kim saying she'd be Wonder Woman.
I'm looking forward to that next Wonder Woman film.
Or she's saying about Coover's, saying that Coover wants to be, Coover's now letting out the secret that he's a bit of a woman, that he dresses up as Wonder Woman off screen.
See, I feel like we're more DC characters rather than Marvel characters. I totally think Coover is Batman.
I'm Batman.
Yeah,
Dermot can be Superman.
Batman, aren't you a bit short and fat?
Phil could be the Joker. Phil be Green Lantern.
It would take them about 5 or 6 years just to make a utility belt that fits me.
Kim B says, I'd be Doctor Doom. That dude has style.
I think I might take, if I can't be Batman, who would be my first, I think I'd be Aquaman then. I look a bit like, what's the actor that's on it? I think I look a little bit like them.
John Fitzpatrick's just put, it's more like on the bosses. That's true.
I think we're more like the thin blue line.
Do you know what?
If we're going to be that, I'm definitely Inspector Grimm in that one. There's anyone more Inspector Grimm than myself.
If we were to do Only Fools and Horses, right, Ben would be Boyson.
I'd totally be Trigger.
Yeah, you'd be Trigger. Cooper would be Grandad.
I'll tell you what, that Thin Blue Line, that was a funny program. It's a shame we only did a couple of series. Was Grimm the detective that just used to lay it always? Oh, well, do this.
Toity, fannying about.
Yeah.
You know what they're talking about, Keith?
I've seen the program. I just can't remember it very well.
You've got, especially the one when the football match is on. It's so funny.
Okay. Apparently, John Fitzpatrick. Kim's laughing at On the Buses, coming by John Fitzpatrick, and John Fitz said, "I would be Rodney." Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
So who lived that? I mean, you're a Del Boy then, Phil.
I can be Del Boy. EU dares.
As much as I'd like to be pointy, I'm not being an Arsenal fan.
No, he's just EU dares.
He who dares wins. He who don't. Were you drinking cocktails last night?
That'd be the new Tottenham logo then for Phil. He who dares.
Yeah. Not to dare is to do. It's just he who dares.
Yeah. Phil who used to be in the SAS. He who dares.
Honestly, I could sit and watch Only Fools and Horses any day of the week. They just got better with time.
Yeah,
I loved the one when he fell through the bar. I mean, that was brilliant.
In quality.
Probably the best known clip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leave it up to me, Trigger. You know what I mean. You just got to play it cool.
So Kim is going to be Marlene.
Yeah, Kim.
Marlene.
They did a spin-off series, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did.
Green Grass.
I think there was rumours
that we got a Margate.
Yeah, there was rumours going to make a Christmas special this year, but it wouldn't be the same. I mean, half the characters
you can't. John Sullivan's not there to write it, is he? Unfortunately, Remember this one, the poker game. I've got a pair of aces, and I've got another pair of aces.
Yeah.
That's pair? That's 4. I didn't know you could count, Boise. I was watching one the other day where Trigger was there and he went, I walked into a sign and he went, didn't you see the sign? And he goes, yeah, but in those days I couldn't read. Just like,
It's brilliant. I'll definitely want to beat Trigger. It was my favourite
I think the blinking one's funny. They're sitting at the table. There's a star there. If you blink, it goes, and then it comes back again.
I like the one where they're sitting down and they spot a couple of birds at the bar, and Dell goes, he goes, leave it to me, Rodney, I'll sort this one out. And he goes over and puts his arms around them, just starts chatting away, and comes back in after about 2 seconds. Goes, drink up, Rodney, we're leaving. And he goes, bloody hell, that was quick, Dell. He goes, yeah, tell me about it, they're fellas.
The best one for me is the Trivial Pursuit game, and he gets the question of what is a female swan, and Rodney's just tapping on the table the pen, and he's like, it's a bick.
That's a brilliant episode. That one. That's the Jolly Boys out into Margate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to do this on you, Phil, but this comment here I want to bring up. I miss Batman. I heard Michael Keaton's going to come. Yes, he is. He's reprising his role in the new Flash movie. And there's also talks going on that they may be doing an older Batman, what's it called? Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton playing the older Bruce Wayne.
The thing is, that Batman that Michael Keaton did was 1989, so that's 32 years ago.
He's 70.
Yeah. Well, he's coming because the Flash movie goes back into different universes in the Flash movie.
You can't go back with Batman. I mean, Christian Bale was by far the best ever Batman.
He'd be well suited for Batman Beyond.
I know an awful lot of people saying Michael Keaton was the best.
Yeah, I'd say to me, Michael Keaton is my Batman.
So I'm going to be the old bastard and say Adam West is the best Batman, and no one else arguing with that. He is the best Batman.
You can.
The shit, crappy sound effects, the music.
Also, to Kaguma as well, to her message. So I just want to get this up. And if Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman again, now who's your favourite Catwoman out of all the Catwomans? Michelle Pfeiffer
every time.
No debate. The new one was good, but she's not Michelle.
No, Halle Berry. Where is she in there?
Halle Berry's gorgeous, but no, Michelle Pfeiffer was just perfect.
I think whoever you pull up in that, you would have the same comment that she was gorgeous. She was not Michelle Pfeiffer.
And for Ben's tastes as well. Eartha Kitt in the original Batman with Adam West, she was awesome.
But she was.
In fact, I'll say she's my favourite of the lot.
We saw the
just
trailer
bring up
for
a little bit
one.
more Del Boy. They're going to call him Rodney after Dave. That is one of the best lines. That was in the baby one, wasn't it? What are they going to call the baby? We're going to call if it's a girl, Sigourney after an actress, and if it's a boy, they're going to call it Rodney after Dave. That's absolute comedy genius.
It is.
It really is. Let me just go through some more comments, guys.
I like the Batman one, Kaguma. Brilliant comment there. Absolutely brilliant.
The new
comment.
Batman looks quite good. I saw the trailer
Kaguma
yesterday.
now gets star comment of the day, of the show. She's now got star comment of the show today.
Trigger's broom.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Adam. So we sorry, apologies, guys. We are jumping between Batman and Only Fools and Horses. Although you could combine.
There is a link.
There is a link.
Yeah.
1996, best episode ever.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Batman's a short little fat man, and Robin was a tall, thin, lanky fella.
Yeah.
Was it that season where Michael Keaton played Del Boy?
I tell you, Michael Keaton, he was great in the Spider-Man film when he played
Vulture.
Vulture, yeah, he was brilliant in that.
I'm going to just pull up that one from Kim, who's claiming Julie.
Oh yeah,
Uma.
yes, I agree with Kim. I was trying to think what her name was. I agree with Kim. That is my
Where's that?
60s
Where was she
Catwoman.
from then? Which Catwoman
From
was she then?
She was the 60s Catwoman. She was before, I think before, what's her name? Arthur Kitt.
I'm
She
just
was
gonna
before.
I'm gonna jump it with Gaguma then, so that she's on the panel. Yep, Michelle Pfeiffer, amazing.
Anne Hathaway was a very good Catwoman.
Yeah,
Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway was very good.
I didn't like Christian Bale as Batman.
really?
No. I didn't think he was suited to the role.
Yeah, I didn't think he was the best Batman, but it was the best Batman movies.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
George Clooney was the worst Batman. Let's just all agree on that one.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
do you know what?
that's fair.
You'd be hard pushed to say you're wrong there, Derm, without a doubt.
And what about Val Kilmer?
Yeah, okay, also the worst.
Yeah. It is a real toss-up between the
And
two.
Ben Affleck as well, also the worst.
If you've seen the Schneider cut of Justice League, Batman,
Yeah, I have.
Batfleck is very, very
See that
good.
one,
They
Yeah.
fixed him. He was very good in the Snyder cut.
Hang on. Adam says, did you ever play the recent Batman video games, Dermot? Yeah, I have. I'm nearly completed Arkham, the
Asylum.
last Arkham game. I've completed the first two, but the third one I've nearly completed. So it's taken me about 7 years to complete that on and off. But I'm getting there.
Dermot, I'd be like Trigger. So John Fitzpatrick. So there's two. We have two Triggers in the panel.
I will happily give Trigger to John if I probably have to be Boise then, just for the fucking laugh.
I'm quite happy with the Rodney thing, so I'll give Trigger to John as well.
What's your favourite Boise moment then?
Just any time he laughs.
Yeah.
I just lose it.
I think when they become millionaires and Ronnie goes in and buys the Rolls Royce for Del Boy, and he's like taking the piss out of him sort of thing, and he just holds him the holds. I think that's brilliant.
I do like the one. You know
the
when
way it did though. Like they shouldn't have ended poor. They should have just ended as millionaires and then just end it.
But
Guguma,
that's the one with Boise. You know when Del Boy's talking to him and he's like, "I want you to make me a Mason," and he went, "If you don't, I'm going to talk to Marlene about Sheffield." And he's like, "No, Del, you wouldn't do that." And then he gets on the phone to Marley and he goes, "Yeah, for his birthday, he wants some of those real fisherman's knife, but it has to be Sheffield steel." She's like, "Sheffield? Give me that bloody phone." It's just quality.
Right. We're going a bit away from Top. Well, we'll just get through these comments here. We've got Gaguma here. Dermot, yes, he preferred Val Kilmer in Top Gun, and we're like, yes, I do too. Guys, what do you think to that one?
Which one?
And I'll get it up now for you. That one. He was good in Top Gun. I don't know why they're making the new one after 30 years after the first one.
There's only one thing I've actually enjoyed him in, that's Tombstone, the Wyatt Earp story.
No. Heat.
He was actually Kit in the new Knight Rider as well. He actually voiced Kit.
Heat he was good in. Yeah.
He was awesome in that. Although there's always that big question in that film. What a great film, but why did they bring Wayne Grow in? They didn't need him. But that's another subject.
Salary agents put here, which current Spurs player would make the best Batman? Oh Lord.
Conte.
No.
The Hitman.
I'll go for Holberg.
I'll go for Romero.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Do you know what, Romero?
It's got to be the Hitman. He's big.
Right, we sort of gone away from Tottenham talk, so should we get back to Tottenham talk?
Yeah, but
Davinson Sanchez. Just think of the fight scenes.
Yeah. What did you think, Phil, of the sending off from Zaha and Sanchez? How he handled it?
I think Sanchez played into Zaha played into Sanchez's hands, and if you get 2 yellow cards in 12 minutes, then what a bloody idiot! You know, it's like once you're up against it. First one was harsh. Second one was absolutely yellow card all day long. And
you thought the first one was harsh?
Hmm?
You think the first one was harsh?
Yeah.
I don't. I think it was yellow card all day long.
I mean, it's
I think he got
when it's Zaha because deep down he's a gooner. So
Go on, lads. Who wants to read this one out? This is brilliant.
Go on then. Truth sets free. My wife said she's starting a YouTube account called The Truth Be Told, where she trolls me for being so weak.
Big up Truth Sets
I'll
Free.
subscribe to that, yeah.
Yeah, same here. But please, if you are enjoying this content, please everyone like and subscribe. We are trying to get to 200 before New Year. We're only 10 away, so please everyone like and subscribe.
Or make 10 accounts.
If you also want to follow us on Twitter, we're on there. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. After the new year, we will be doing more on them platforms as well. We're on Twitch as well. We're showing this on Twitch as well as Twitter. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, you can do. You don't have to. It is free, but if you want to, it does help the channel. It does help us grow. To get to the 1,000 subscribers. So you can. There is a link. I think Phil's going to put the link in the chat as well for us. And also, the link is also on the YouTube channel. But if you don't have to, but if you do, it does help us grow and to get better guests in, because you do have to pay for some of these guests and you do have to pay for some of the games. So it does help us get better games for you and the games you want, that you want us to get on. Which I know Cooper's been working very hard in the background, emailing everyone at the moment. So big up.
I'm actually thinking of putting a bit of money into buying some footage on some things, because it's just too enjoyable not to have it.
Yeah. I mean, some of the games, we've got the Southampton game in the FA Cup, the 91 FA Cup semi-final, which we got scandalously, and absolutely scandalously taken down for. Absolutely, that was Levy at his best. Patrolling YouTube, sees us, we're showing a game that we would win, and we win, and he just cuts us down. So I blame Levy for that. So Levy, that was your fault, and we're coming for you. If you don't behave yourself, we're sending Agent 006.5 Brian Daigle into you.
John Fitzpatrick saying Coover is granddad.
Yeah, he is great. You are granddad.
He's more Uncle Albert.
Yeah, he is actually.
He's definitely.
Go on.
I could do that. I like him.
You would definitely.
Go on, say them words, Coof. Go on, say them words.
In the war.
No,
during the war.
During the war.
It was so cold, the lane froze a mile up.
It's a duck of the head as well. In the war.
Yeah. It's when he said to Del Boy, he said, if you mention the war, I'm going to pull this company out of it. During the 1940 to 1939
to conflict in the Middle East.
Conflict with Germany.
And Rodney spotting the woman in the bar, and he's talking to her. She seems very upset, Uncle Albert. She's German. He goes, oh, German, I'll speak some German. Going up to her, what is your name?
Oh, God. What did he call himself in the first episode? I'm Boomerang Trotter, because I always come back. Oh, God. Yeah, they bring it back. Did you not drop him off then, Del? No, they moved the bloody caravan. Oh, Lord, that's funny.
We should just change it. We'll forget Tottenham. We'll just go Only Fools and Horses. Like,
Only Fools and Hotspurs, the new channel.
That would work.
Yeah. See, again, it's the ESL. It's that you two are doing an ESL takeover. You got Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool taking over the channel.
Peckham Hotspur. That would work.
We see Gary Neville to complain about Daniel Levy for about 20 years about it and not go after any of the Liverpool owners.
I want to get your thoughts on Gary Neville. Is he good or bad for the game? For what he comes out with?
I think he's got.
I want now. Hang on. I start with Phil first, then I go to you, Ben, then I go to Cooper. I'll do it that way. Go on, Phil.
I have to say, I have a little. I do like him. I think he speaks a lot of truth. But he's still deep down a Man U fan, and that sometimes clouds his judgment. He's obviously got a lot of knowledge on the game. He's a smart lad who speaks well, but just a little bit too Man U. I don't have too big a problem with him until he talks Man U.
Ben?
I think he's got too big for his boots. In terms of the ESL thing, he was very good with Jamie Carragher. But there's always one thing we were talking about it in the group chat the other day. He was very convinced it was Daniel Levy that was at the heart of the Super League, which it wasn't. It was the American chaps. It was the Glazers and it was the Henrys that were in charge of the Super League. They are the Americanization of football because that is what they both are bought into sports about it. So the fact that he personally blaming Daniel Levy for the entire Super League, which it wasn't Daniel Levy. It's just Tottenham and Chelsea couldn't be seen to not be in a Super League because it would have killed us revenue-wise. So we had to go along with it. Same with Man City. Was that 300 million?
Do you know what? It was one of those. It's like you didn't want to be associated with it, but more importantly, you didn't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
So Man U and Liverpool drove that one, and the other four. What was going to happen?
And the Cronkies as well, because they're also.
Of course, yeah. But you know what I mean. It was one of those. Is And I don't ever, I'm just apologising now before I sound to Mr. Daigle that I do not want to sound like Levy's supporter. But if he didn't and turned down the opportunity to be earning 300 million a year, he'd have been crucified for that. Yeah. So he was in a no-win situation.
I wouldn't have crucified him for that. It was a disgrace. An absolute disgrace what he'd done to our club. He took our club through the gutter. This is Tottenham Hotspur. We're not like Liverpool or Manchester United or Chelsea. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We have no right going into that thing. I am sorry. I do not agree with what you two said on that. As much as I love to parry it, and I think you're brothers for me. I'm sorry. I'm drawing the line straight down the middle.
We all have our opinion, and obviously, I'm not.
My opinion is
this is yours. It's perfectly entitled.
Yeah.
And we should have gone nowhere near that fucking thing.
We shouldn't have. But
it was. This had Levy's murky hands written all bloody over it.
I had all of them their hands over it. But
I don't care about the rest of them. I care about my club. I don't care about Man United. I don't care about Chelsea. I don't care about Liverpool. I don't care about Arsenal. I care about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They should have gone nowhere near the fucking thing. For Levy even to have us associated with it was a disgrace. For Levy even bringing us into it was a bigger disgrace. That man needs to be taken outside, put on a boat, sent to the North Pole and left there. I don't want him as Tottenham chairman. I don't want Enoch to do anything with my club. As much as Sean says, yes, we make this money and that money, I get that. But Levy is the cancer that's within my club. I want that cancer taken out of my club. So the ESL was the last straw for me. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't care 300 million. What we can do, play Barcelona and Real Madrid every week. Yippee! I'd rather play them in the Champions League or UEFA Cup.
It's because we're football fans. But the problem is...
And then also, the thing was, there was no relegation or promotion. Either. So for God's sake, that's not how you run a league. So the ESL, if Liverpool, Man United want to go into it, fine. I waved them off at the airport. See you later, lads.
I sense some ticker tape wars coming on here now.
What's your view on it, Cuba? Let's hear.
Hang on. Phil Natis loves Daniel Levy. No.
Sorry,
Mr. Daigle won't have anything to do with me. He'll wipe me out of the friendship ring.
Let's just get rid of it. I don't know, the whole Super League bit, or Daniel Levy in general. Do you want the answer?
No, the Super League.
Let's do Daniel Levy in the ESL.
Well, Super League's going to happen anyway. Eventually, it's just going to happen. Money talks. It always works that way. Always. So, do we want to be part of it or do we not? I think, unfortunately, the likes of us, we love the nostalgia, but we can't bring it back, can we? it's not going to be a time we can go back to. I mean, for me, I preferred it when we had just the Football League. There were 4 divisions. There was no Premier League. It was a better time. But can't do anything about that. It's gone forever. It's just a sign of the times. So money's going to shape things for the foreseeable future until something else takes over and people start investing their hundreds of millions, their billions elsewhere. Until that point, we're just stuck following the leaders. So perhaps we just have to bite the bullet and just get on with it, because it's an inevitable project, the Super League.
There's a couple of chats in there, Dermot. Do you want to do that one? I've got one from John, then I'm going to bring one up from Shaggy. So there's your first one.
John, I respect your decision, but no, I am sorry. If Tottenham went into the European Super League, now I've been supporting Tottenham for 40-something years, right? I'm 44 now. I've been supporting them since the day I was born. I came out and I was born in a Tottenham kit. That's how much Tottenham means to me. If Tottenham went into a Super League and stayed in it, I would stop supporting Tottenham. That's how much I don't want this. I never want us to be associated with this again. I would walk away from my team.
Who would you support?
My local team here in Ireland. I support a local GAA team.
What about you, Ben? What would you say to that? Would you stop supporting Tottenham if they went into
I
the
can't
EFL?
physically not support Tottenham. It's been absolutely drilled into me from the day I was born. As soon as I was born, my dad put the bloody cup final on VHS and said, "No, this is what we're doing." But it's just that, unfortunately, we have to agree with. We could not afford to not be in the league. Money talks, and if we. They're only really looking at one thing, is paying off the stadium at the moment. The Super League would have paid off the stadium in a year. Yeah. That's all they think about. That is the current problem with football, is everything is governed by monetary effect. So as soon as we remove money from football, or how much money is in football, this is the way football's going to go. If they could have paid off the stadium in 1 month through the Super League, they would absolutely be rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, but I didn't ask for the stadium. None of us asked for the stadium.
We need the stadium to be able to compete. Why? We need the stadium to compete. 36,000 fans is not
enough to generate the income that we need.
If we want to pay Harry Kane 200k a week, we need to have bums on seats every week.
Yeah, why not? Here's a great idea. Why don't the owners take money out their own feckin' pocket and put it into the club?
Because they won't have any money, but in the next 10 years, and they'll have to sell it to another.
Shit.
That's the problem.
Care.
It means football won't.
Unfortunately, it's not
exist.
because they run a business, and unfortunately,
yeah. So the debt is, yeah. But Phil and Ben, the debt is now on Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It's not with the owners. It's with the club.
Yeah.
What happens if the bank calls in them debts? What happens? This is a fair
won't
point.
Call in the bet,
hang on, Ben. Just let me make my point. If there's a world recession crash due to this pandemic, which there could well be, right? Every country in the world is struggling at the moment. Banks will call in their debts. So what if the bank called in the debt against Tottenham? Are Levy and Enoch going to pay that debt? So, don't worry, lads, we'll pay it.
We don't know.
He's worth billions.
The money would come from somewhere.
Joe Lewis is worth billions. I don't give a flying monkeys. The debt should lay with them, not with our football club. Our football club's been dragged through the gutter with Enoch and Levy. We've won nothing for 20 years. We're supposed to be a big club. We've won nothing.
With that saying, they've structured the deal so the bank can't just call out the debt. The bank has to. That is the way you structure it. They can't. It's not 1920 anymore, where a bank can just call in a debt and make you bankrupt. With big billion-dollar companies, the bank has structured it, so they can't just do that. They can't just take money out. So with the way the deal was structured in terms of with Goldman Sachs and the people that are crediting the business.
Yeah, but what happens if they go bust?
They won't because they've got infinite money.
Everyone said Lehman Brothers wouldn't go bankrupt, and they did.
The Goldman Sachs are a different. They're actually smart.
They practically own half the planet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I'm going to again make myself sound bad. What he has made our club financially secure. He hasn't spent the money where we as fans would want it, but he has made us financially secure. We are not going bankrupt anytime soon.
Right. I want to ask you two a question down below, and then I will ask Cooper. I think I've asked Cooper this before. All right, I'll start with you, Phil. Would you rather have the new stadium and the team we've got, with what we've gone through, or would you have White Hart Lane and success? No, just one answer.
I don't think that question is. It's not a fight. It's not.
They don't go hand in hand.
It's not. No, not anymore.
No. Would you rather a new stadium and the Josh we've been watching, or would you rather him put the money in the team instead of building a new stadium and get success, which we nearly had on the pot? What would you rather?
You need the big stadium to compete.
You must have it now. It's now.
There's no way out.
Otherwise, with Man City owned by a country, you've got Newcastle owned by a country, you've got Manchester United practically owned by a country, the amount of revenue they make, you cannot physically compete. And with teams like Brighton now having 30,000 seater stadiums, they will overtake us one day because they are making money. They're making the same money as us, so we would eventually go into the Championship. We would eventually then go. Like Sunderland. Perfect example. They've got a 40,000 seater stadium.
So they've got a 50,000 stadium there. And when they were in the Premier League, they could have filled it 3 times over. Now they're lucky to get 10 a week because they're full from grace because the revenue, it wasn't supported on the field. So they dropped out. We won't drop out.
Tottenham Hotspur, because of the way we're structured the club now, will exist for 300 years. And
just very quick for me. Sorry, Ben. Yes, Truth That's Free. It is in the link. It's somewhere within the link. For you.
I'll put it in the game if you want.
Yeah. I mean, Adam says here a lot of football fans would walk away from football if or when this European Super League happens. Would you two walk away?
No,
because I love Tottenham too much.
Cooper, would you walk away?
No. I mean, I've been through this before. I said the same thing about the Premier League. I thought it was a really bad thing for football, but
I did too.
Can't leave Spurs. Spurs is family. You can't just turn your back on them so easily. In principle, I'd love to, but no, I've got my whole life invested in Spurs. I mean, you can't just pick up and go. It's just impossible. It's just sad that this is the state of affairs nowadays. It's the times we either roll with it or we're going to sink.
Yeah, I do want to point out all of us are Levy out, by the way. Every single one on this panel are Levy out, by the way.
I'm still on the fence. I want him out if he doesn't do what's best for the club.
Okay, sorry, Ben, we're going to have to put in a 2-second timeout. So after there, and you're back in again.
Do you know what? Sean pulled it up yesterday, which is, a fair point. It's like, let's say we get our wish today and we go, right, Levy goes today, okay? And then somebody new comes in tomorrow, whoever that is. How do we know they're going to be any different? Whoever's coming in is $1 billion businessman that is not coming in to just give money to Tottenham willy-nilly. They're still going to structure the business.
Yeah, also, I want to point out on the protest that happened around the Super League at the time. You look at Chelsea, fan power rally happened, didn't it, over them few days to make clubs change their mind. Before Brian Day, go on, Ben, go on.
The difference is Abramovich didn't want to be in the Super League. But he went in it because he had to be in it, because Abramovich isn't stupid. If he's getting £300 million per year to be in the Super League, he's going to accept it because that's clean money from him. That is clean money that he gets into his football club. You can't say no to £300 million a year. It's like some people won't see £300 million in 50,000 lifetimes, and if you're getting it every single year, you can't say no to it.
I don't agree with that. You have to be in it. You have to think of what the football club stood for. You have to think what I don't agree with that, Ben. I'm sorry, I do respect your opinion. I really do.
So where I get this from is my family is friends with Mr. Antonio Giraldo, who was the president of Juventus, and we're really good friends with him. He had Zinedine Zidane, the best footballer in the world. We've talked about this many a time. He never wanted to sell Zinedine Zidane, but he told me Real Madrid came in with £50 million on the table. 50 million quid in whenever it was. 50 million quid then. It was astronomical. He couldn't say no to it. And that is the way football club owners and presidents think. They've got to have the money because they've got to pay for the staff. They've got to pay the staff, the trainers, this person, that person.
For flaming hell, he wanted to furlong the people. Use furlong during the pandemic, Ben. Come on. As much as I respect...
Most people did.
Yeah, but we're not... they could have paid for the
think about things differently or business people, sorry. If you're in charge of $1 billion, you're thinking of, the guy's an accountant, isn't he? So he's looking to save, to spend, to accumulate, and he won't spend in a way that we do. We would like him to go, here you go, Antonio, here's 300 million, just go for it in January. That's not going to happen.
Joe Lewis made a profit during the pandemic. Why can he not put that extra money in to pay for the staff? There was people more worse off that needed that money from the government at the time. Nurses, doctors, police people, fire people, all the people, social services that need the money. Joe Lewis could stick his hand in his pocket and pull out 100,000 or 200,000 cash. There you go, pay the staff. We didn't have to fall long. That was a disgrace.
I mean, you could say he provided the stadium for NHS, and what the club did during the pandemic in terms of doing the COVID testing, and we had a hospital there for pregnant women. The club did a lot for the local community. We can't just discount that because that's what it's all right. Amazon furloughed people. Amazon. We're like that compared. We're not even a speck compared.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is, I'm not talking about Amazon. I'm talking about our chairman, who may have done this big, fantastic stadium, who may have financially secured us, but it's the club that has the debt, not Levy and Enoch. Most Man United's the same with their owner. The debt's on the club. The debt should always be with the owner. It shouldn't be on the club.
The business has to be self-sustaining.
Liverpool don't. The Liverpool, however Liverpool fans think about their owners, by Jesus, even the Man United owners, they hate them, but they put money into the team every summer. They spent more. Man United spent more than any other team last season, transfer window.
But they're not fixing their stadium. The stadium is a crumble, and Man United fans are complaining that the stadium's falling apart.
I just very much, I agree with some of what you said, Ben, but I don't agree with everyone, but I respect
the difference with Liverpool is they are a massive group. So instead of putting all the debt on Liverpool, they'll put some of the debt on the Red Sox, some of the debt on this football team. They're spreading out the debt. My family has a property firm. It's not about your family, Ben. It's about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. No, but it's a business. If we want to buy a new property in my family, we spread the loan out over all our different little properties. That's what Fenway Sports Group did. They borrowed some on the Red Sox, some on the Pittsburgh Penguins because they've just bought the Pittsburgh Penguins. This group they put a little bit of the loan on each of them. So yes, the debt is on the club. It's just not as much because we only own one club, which is one of the reasons I think we're trying to buy Stanley Liège as well as using them as a feeder club. I don't want them to buy Stanley Liège, but if it helps, and it helps us take some of the debt off us, brilliant. But they've got lots and lots of little teams, especially the Glazers, because they own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well, and lots of different teams, so they can spread the debt out over all their little clubs.
I agree with some of what you said, Ben, but I don't agree with everything what you said. I mean, we had our own business as well, Ben, so I do know what it's like. We had a construction business, so I know what it's like about houses and that. I come from that background myself, so I know what you're talking about. But this is about Tottenham and Levy, how badly Levy how bad Levy has run the footballing side of the business.
But hopefully he's
How
fixing
bad?
that with Paratici. Hopefully he's
Yeah,
fixing
but
it now.
it's taken him 20 years of getting crap managers in. He had Hitchin in. For Christ's sake, what's Hitchin still doing there?
20 years in a business is a tiny point. 20 years is nothing in the
Yeah,
grand
but
scheme
the
of
point
a
I'm
$1 billion
making is
company.
his footballer decisions have not been right. And
But
that's
if we
the point
suffer
I'm
for
making.
20 years and then we profit for 50 years because of the steps he's put in place, we won't be slating him. So it all depends what's happening.
I don't know how old you are, Ben, but I went through this, and I know Kuba did, and I know Phil did, back in the late 90s when Scott and Eddie took us to the wall. And I remember that very well. I remember that so well, that we would not have a football club. And if it wasn't
now
for
we've secured that.
if it wasn't for Alan, the point I'm making, it wasn't like for Alan Sugar for saving the club. But he brought Enoch in. Enoch's a cancer within our club. And I agree with you. I agree with some of what you said, and I've said that already. And I respect your opinion 100%, Ben, because you're part of this channel. You're a brother on this channel, and I respect your decision 100%.
I'm not totally Levy in, by the way. If Levy continues to not win things, we need to resell. But what Levy has done is he's made us more palatable for someone like an Amazon, for a Google, for an Apple, for a Tesla. They will now look at our business, the hotels, the property portfolio, the golf course portfolio. We are a club that any billionaire will want to buy. Manchester City have had to build it from nothing. Chelsea, they would have to build from nothing because their stadium's in a shit location as well as it being a shithole. Liverpool, they have to build a massive amount of infrastructure. The infrastructure's there just for someone to buy it, and that we are in the most viable position of any football club in the world of football. No football club has got the infrastructure we have, and that's partly due to what they've done for us.
Yeah, well,
I'm not fully in, but they've set us up to be, if someone was going to buy us, someone with big butt money is going to want to buy us because they know they're going to get that money back.
Well, I'm fully Levy out, have been for a long time, and that's my opinion. I'm sticking on that fence. Guys, quick question, change subject completely.
I was going to have a go on that.
Go on then. Go on, let's have your say. Let's have you. You've been very quiet.
We have to accept, Dermot, that what state were we in before Levy took over? We were mid-table, going nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
He elevated us to that point where we've got the new stadium and we're regularly competing in Europe. My problem with Levy is his business practice is now restricting us. It's like we've been capped at that level below winning things for too long, and it's not going to change the way he's been operating. That's entirely my problem with Levy. Plus things like sacking Martin Yola half time and the various mistakes along the way. But I can't sort of villainize him for everything because some of the things he's done has been great. But it does always come back to it at the end of the day, and this is where I know where Dermot's coming from 100%. At the end of the day, it's the football club I support. It's not Enoch. I want to see trophies. I want to see exciting players. I want to see managers. I want to see us pushing for winning the title. And we're just we are just a business now. It seems. Perhaps that's going to change with the recent appointments, Paratici and Conte. But at the end of the day, it's this reluctant acceptance as that's the way things are nowadays. For so many clubs, it's just the business. You have to go non-league if you're looking at purely the sort of hub of the community, and they're not worried about profits. Stevie Fraser said, can't forgive the way Levy treated the old Harry or Posh.
Harry deserved it. What Harry did was a disgrace.
And I know the inside story there. Basically, he went, I'm not signing the contract. I'm probably going to get the England job. Didn't get it, and then came back and went, I'll sign it now. And Levy went,
we fully supported him when he was going for his tax dodging case. And he probably should have gone in the slammer for his tax dodging. We fully supported him for everything. And as soon as the England job came for him after his tax dodging didn't go out, he fucking told us to fuck off. I love Harry Redknapp. He's a lovely bloke. But he sent us down the gutter. He did deserve the way he was treated. Any other club would have sacked him at that moment in time.
Yeah, Sean here saying Daniel Levy is by no means the 10 out of 10 chairman. I think overall you have to give him a 7 out of 10, room to improve. Yeah, that's pretty much as I'm seeing.
If you split that, and if you said, right, Daniel Levy finances, 10 out of 10. Daniel Levy, football chairman, 3 or 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
And that's where your average comes in. But let's hope that 4 out of 10 is suddenly about to rise to a 9 out of 10 and we go places because everything else is there.
I still don't trust him.
No one's talking about trust. I don't think any of us really trust him, do we?
A leopard will never. He won't spend as much as we all want him to spend in January. He'd be still going after the free transfers and buy now.
I certainly trust him that the club isn't going to go bankrupt.
Yeah,
because he wants his cash cow in place. We have benefited from it, and so has Enoch over the last, until we got to that point where we seem to be stuck. We've plateaued at this, hovering around 5th, occasionally 4th, somewhere around that. The top 6 places always, but never really looking like we're going to win it, except for those couple of seasons under Pochettino. This is where the frustrations come in, because we think we should be going further as fans. We can see how it can be done, and we see Levy making poor decisions again and again.
Can I just say, sorry, Chris, I just want to say, if it wasn't for the fans turning around at a Man United game and shouting Levy out, Paratici, which I know I've told you two privately what happened that night. I'm not going to say it there, but I've told you privately what I know. Conte wouldn't be at the club if it wasn't for Paratici.
Which is why we brought him in.
Now, hang on. No, Ben, I'll explain to you off screen why. Levy would not have done anything. He would not have sacked Nuno if it wasn't for them fans turning around. And that's through Brian Daigle, through the protest and everything. Brian Daigle needs a massive, massive clap on the back for what he's done with the protests, with everything he's done with the Levy out protests. That man deserves a medal. And for the way for the first time in 20 years, we had sections of the crowd shouting Levy out at Levy. That got the board scared. That got Levy scared. Paratici was fuming. That's because of what Brian Daigle and all the people have done. And you know them as well, don't you, Phil? And I think you do too, Ben.
Yeah, Graham's up there. I know Graham won't listen in because he doesn't do it, but big up to Graham and the other guys that are there at the Enoch out each week.
If it wasn't for them, we would not be in this position now where Levy had to make that decision to bring Conte in. Because if there wasn't none of that, I will guarantee you 100% Conte would be at our club. If Paratici wasn't there. It's only because Paratici was there and Levy got scared because of the Levy out chance. Yeah. That's the only reason Conte is there.
However it happens, let's hope it takes us forward.
Yeah, but if Conte walks, because Levy won't back him,
then it's time for him to go.
He should have been gone a long time ago. I mean, he's dragged our club through the mud too much.
All hell will come over North London and to the proper side of North London.
Kuva, sorry didn't mean to cut you out, but just had to get that out. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Pretty much done anyway. That's my sort of viewpoint on Levy overall. Anyway, he did well to take us so far, but he's held us back since. That's why I'm Levy out. Unless he does sort this out with Conte. If we get things working and challenging properly like we should be, he can repair the damage that's been done in my eyes. Football fans are fickle. If we start winning, things get forgotten.
I've lived through the glory years. So have you, Kuva. So have you, Phil. Ben, you've lived through a little bit of glory yourself. I know what it's like to win double FA Cups. And so does Phil, and so does Kuva. We were all there when we won the UEFA Cup in '84. We know what it's like. This club means something. This club is something. And Levy sees it as a business. It's not a business, it's a football club. It's the house that Bill Nick built. And that house that Bill Nick built, Enid come in and they've torn it down to the foundations. And they've cracked the foundations. We have to build that house again. I've said it before on Dave's show, and I'll say it again. I stick by that. The house that Bill Nick is was burning with around our earlobes.
The trouble is, Dermot, how would you build it again? The only way you could do that is disband the club, literally walk away and start up a new Tottenham.
No, it's not what I'm saying, though.
But how else are you going to do it? Look at the ground. It's a corporate structure. It's not.
It is a corporate structure. I understand what you're saying. That's the problem. Where's the soul of White Hart Lane? They may have built it on top of White Hart Lane, but I haven't been to
my point. Yeah, this is my point as well. What are you going to do? Tear the ground down?
Yeah. Where's the soul? I mean, you've been there, you two. It's the soul of the old White Hart Lane now.
The soul is in the fans that go to the club, not the building itself.
I was going to say,
is it still the same?
If we filled it with 2,000 people, you'd still get that level of support because
but you've been there. Is it still the same? What can I say? Is it still the same atmosphere like the old White Hart Lane?
I think the atmosphere at White Hart Lane left 2 years before we went. The White Hart Lane was very quiet. The last proper night of White Hart Lane was against Inter Milan in the Champions League, and it was absolutely deafening from minute 1 to minute dot. That was the last real night of White Hart Lane. The atmosphere was going because of the way the club is heading. It's now an overly international game, which is brilliant because now we've got fans like Gaguma who follow us from Seoul, and we follow people from here and there. But the problem is when you add too many people into a new place, people don't know each other anymore. I knew all the people sat around me at White Hart Lane. I knew every single one of them. But when you add new people into that, you have to rebuild that family relationship everyone has with one another. And some people aren't going to get along. So we have to totally rebuild that.
Hello? That was a wicked ringtone. Whose ringtone was that? That was wicked.
That's mine.
I was going to say Dermot's get level 2.
He's on Space Invaders.
Yeah,
I think the atmosphere is driven by success. The more success you have, the better the atmosphere. The better the
atmosphere. We've got one here, So Spursy. Good morning, So Spursy, for joining us. Steve Foster. Fraser, sorry. He's agreed. Levy should let the football people make the football decisions and stick to what he is good at.
Which is what I hope he does now. With Paratici being he's not director of football. He is the managing director. He is the boss of anything football related. So if he runs the football sides of things, we will be a championship winning side for the next 30 years because he is brilliant. He is an unbelievable football mind. And if he's running the club the way he wants it to be run, and Levy just does what he's good, which is sit with his books and sit with his typewriter, then I am absolutely over the moon. As long as if Levy does sell the club, the only thing that needs to stay is Paratici needs to be the managing director. And he needs to stay in that role for as long as he's willing to do that job.
Steve Fraser's asking, was that Levy on the phone, Ben?
No.
Yeah, it was. He's warning you he's going to sell up everything in your bedroom unless you get fully 100% Levy.
Yeah.
not just 7 out of 10 is not good enough for Levy.
That's right.
He'd be calling Sean, not me, then.
No. I mean, Steve Fraser, the soul is our fans. Yes, I do agree with that. But it was like the DNA of Bill Nick within the club. I mean, there's nothing there. We said it before, and I've said it before. There's nothing statues like for Bill Nick or Arthur Rowe or Jimmy Greaves or Danny Blanchflower or Stevie Perriman. There's nothing from that celebrates our glorious past. That's a big disgrace.
I mean, it's on the walls of the stadium. If you walk it's on the walls inside the stadium. But I think part of the beauty of the club is fans like us with this channel, Tottenham Tantrum Gold, is we relive it and we talk about it and we discuss it.
Yeah, but you look at
statue isn't gonna. We've got to show people that we remember this. We have to pass the information on.
This is what I really disagree with you, Ben, because you look at Man United, they have statues outside of Matt Busby, of Best, Law and Charlton.
We need to do it as well, but the fans are DNA. We need to do it as well.
Yeah,
Which is why
you
I'm
look
on
at
to the local. I want the local council to do something, because the local council should be doing something about this. I'm going to go on an attack of the local council.
No, it should be Levy should be doing something. Don't
He
let
should,
Levy
as
off.
he should as well. But the local council, for example, have destroyed the community of Tottenham by forcing no parking zones during the match. So now local businesses are now suffering because the local council have stopped people from parking there. So if I want to go to my local sweet shop when I go to Tottenham, I can't anymore because you can't physically park there anymore. They stopped me parking there.
This is where football clubs differ from normal businesses, because they are most football clubs are the hub of the community. People's lives are built around these clubs.
And the council was suffering because the council has stopped you parking there. So now you have to get the train, and when you get off the train, there's only one place you can go, and that's the stadium. So the council have, because they're so big bollocked about it, or big bollocked, they've given all the money to Levy, thinking they can prove a point, and they've given him money. They've given him even more power. I mean, Levy wanted the streets to be cleaned more during a match day, so that the streets could be clean, because he doesn't want the streets dirty. The council said, all right.
Sorry, Ben, I just wanted to big up to Sean Butler, who's got to come out. It's coming up again there, Phil, because it's very kind words. It says, guys, I have to bow out for work call. Big up to you all. Super debates today. That's including all of, well done as well, you, Ben. You've been my forward today, I have to say. Usually it's Coover, but today you've been my forward, but you haven't made me pass out to left yet, but fair play to you. Great passion and great points made. See you all later on, or on all the streams. Sean, thank you so much indeed, sir. I'm going to have to bow out soon, so I think we're going to have to wrap this up.
Sobering up.
So he doesn't get to see 3 lots of Southampton this afternoon. Which one shall I watch? I'll watch the one in the middle.
See, I mentioned it, and out comes the bottle again.
Here we go. Yeah. Come on. Boom, boom.
The special water's out.
The holy water. I tell you a funny story. This is true. Me and Kruger watched 3 couples drinking potching last night, didn't we? Because they have their own bar now in Dublin where they sell potching, right? It's made up. Oh Lord God, it was so funny.
It's basically Irish moonshine.
And one of them was called Dermot, wasn't he? And I swear to God, he was like me.
He was taking a little sip of the first one and going, "Oh, that's really good. Oh, it grows on you." And he's suddenly had about 7 or 8, and he's reading out of his mind after that many. And he's just going, this is fantastic, this one. And you got the feeling he's going to polish off all of the bottles they've got there. But everybody else is struggling.
Kaufman for President of the United States for 2024. There you go. We're going to back you.
America's getting healthcare, lads. Yeah. Finally.
We'll have Ben running for Phil running for Prime Minister as well. That's the next one. And me and Cooper are going to run for the Taoiseach and Taoiseach's job in Ireland. That's what we're going to do.
No, I'm just going to run to lose some weight because I need to. No, I'm not. I'm lying. I'm never going to run.
No, I'm not running either.
I was going to say, but I wouldn't do that. It's very boring.
I'll just swap chairs if I get excited about a Spurs game.
Anyway, lads, listen, thank you so much for coming in. Just a few more comments here. TrueSets3 said, yes. Son Fitzpatrick, it's like drinking fire. It is, really. And TrueSets3, take away all the gun violence, Ben. So there you go. There's your 3. There's your 2 things for them. Listen, lads, thank you so much for this morning. Thank you, Cooper. I'll go around. Cooper, where can people find you apart from on here?
Just here. Right here. I'll be sat in this chair waiting for us to go on air.
And waiting to make me pass out live on air. That's your mission, isn't it?
It is. Well, part channel owner, and my ambition is to have no channel anymore because Dermot's expired live on air.
Well, I have put it in my will that the channel goes to YouTube and it happens to me, you and Phil. So I'll have to add Ben into that now. Right. Phil, where can people find you apart from on here, sir?
The only other place they can find me will be in the local vodka factory, just doing double quantities for yourself. So And just on that, when we talked about a stream, we obviously talked about a stream online, but I think, was it you that Dermot wanted a stream coming in through your front room so that you could
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Maybe like the
Yeah.
pudding.
I'll be in there swimming.
Yeah. What are you doing, Dermot? I'm just having a bath. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, it's been honestly, guys. It's been a great stream this morning. You'll obviously find me here and then popping up everywhere else, but this is our home, Tottenham Tantrum Gold, covering all things Tottenham. We certainly have done that today.
And then very quickly, sorry for that, Cooper, before I get to you, Ben, very quickly, Cooper, what's your score prediction for the Southampton game?
5-0, of course.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Phil?
2-1. It's going to be a tough game.
Okay, Phil?
3-1 or 1-3.
And Ben, where can people find you? Alexander Hilton, where have you been? Where have you been?
Yeah, where have you been?
You'll have to watch us on catch up.
You missed the mother of all debates between me and Ben Kaufman. The Titans collided. It's like Hulk versus Iron Man in his Hulkbuster suit. It was for the ages, but it was very enjoyable. And you, sir, where can people find you, and what's your score prediction for today?
As well as finding us on here every morning, depending on whether I'm well or not. You can find us at the Coffee Company after our hiatus for all your coffee needs. YouTube channel should be starting very, very soon. I'm going to start doing that, and we're going to have some fun and do some coffee tutorials, how you can get your coffee as good as you want it to be. And score prediction today is going to be 3-1 to Tottenham. We're going to take an early 3-0 lead because we're badass. And we're on the march with Conte at the helm. And they're going to get a shitty consolation free kick from that boy, James Ward-Prowse. I can see it happening. We're going to batter everyone.
We're going to watch it privately, three of us, lads, later, or we're going to do a watch along?
Yeah, nobody else is allowed to watch.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not sure where I'm watching it yet, so I probably won't be on, but I'll
okay. Well, we'll watch it anyway. So listen, we're back tomorrow morning at half 11 with the next morning show. We've just got one or two more here. Slept like dire in extra time. Well, you'll enjoy the catch up. You really will. Treat us free. Love us, and all countries in Bob Marley. One love, best of all. Yes. Wayne Bonner has been going for a 9-0 Spurs win. Okay. Guguma says the Kaufman Company. Woohoo! And he's saying go Wayne. And the truth sets free. Steve Frazier saying the truth sets free. Big yourself up, bro, legend. And then he says 24-0 Spurs by half time. And then we'll take the sting out of the game 42-0 at full time.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And
you know what we haven't had for a little while though.
What? I know. I was just about Phil. I was just about to do that. Phil, you take us out with your massive woo.
Woohoo! Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and I've got one comment. I've also got one comment to make to Coover and Ben and Phil. You'll never beat the Irish.